Hi, I'm Renee the Career Coach from reneethecareercoach.com, and in this video I'm going to be going over a specific strategy you can use to help you explain a career gap, whether on your resume or in an interview. So stick around. Here on this channel, I am sharing tons of information that helps career professionals or job seekers. So if that's you, consider subscribing. There are several reasons why somebody might have a career gap in their career history. Maybe they got laid off or fired. Maybe they took some time off to be a stay-at-home parent or a caretaker. Maybe they decided to travel or even go back to school and further their education. Whatever the case may be for your career gap, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to handle this with 3 simple strategies. But first, we're going to go over what not to do when talking about your career gap. First, don't overshare, whether on a resume or in an interview. Whatever you do, make sure that you go in prepared. If you're unprepared and you're asked about your career gap, you may find yourself rambling, talking too long, and that may raise concern for the interviewer. Second, I would not include on your resume or on your LinkedIn that you're unemployed or seeking employment. It honestly comes off a little more desperate than assertive, so I would just leave that fact out on any platform like your resume or LinkedIn and save that explanation for your interview because it's going to come up. I'm going to be addressing 3 different scenarios as to why somebody might have a career gap and how to explain it best in an interview or even on a resume. The first scenario is if you're currently employed, but you have a significant career gap in your past career history. Honestly, there isn't too much of a need to explain this type of career gap because the hiring managers and recruiters, they're going to be looking at your most recent experience and seeing how that aligns with the job that you're interviewing for. So make sure to focus most of your time and effort discussing the position that you're currently in. Wait until the interviewer addresses the career gap to bring it up. I wouldn't bring it up as, oh, you'll probably notice I have this career gap on my resume. Don't bother going there until they bring it up. And in that case, when they do bring it up, you just explain what the situation was and then move on. Don't try and explain this career gap on your resume. I have seen people try and do that and it gets really wordy and it, again, comes off a little too desperate. The second scenario is that you are currently unemployed and have a significant gap of unemployment on your resume. In this case, I would ask you, what have you been doing in the meantime? What have you been doing since you've been unemployed? Have you been doing any volunteer work? And that could include anything from working on the PTO, church leadership, or even working at a food bank. It's important to note that employers are going to value volunteer work just as much as they do paid work. So even if during this time you did a lot of volunteer work, you can still highlight that as if it were paid work. Have you done any consulting on the side? A lot of the times people will do side work while they're unemployed, and they have a hard time putting that on their resume or talking about that. But don't be shy about any extra work that you've been doing on the side, like consulting. Have you been in school and furthering your education? Because that's a huge bonus that you can talk about. Also, focus on what soft skills you've developed. Have you strengthened your communication skills or your problem-solving skills? Have you improved your adaptability? All of these different things you can hone in on, talk about, and really align with the job that you're applying for. Whatever it is, make sure to include it on your resume. And don't downplay the work that you have been doing. You can't say something like, oh, I've only been a stay-at-home mom. Oh, I was just caring for an ill parent. Or even, oh, I just took some classes on the side. These are no easy feats, and so don't downplay them at all. And remember, it's always better to be doing something than nothing. Scenario number 3 is if you have been unemployed for a significant amount of time and you don't feel like you have anything that you can highlight as experience and put on your resume. In this case, go to your last recent position and emphasize that as much as possible. Make sure you have 6 to 8 bullet points talking about what you did in that position, but also make sure that they align with the position you're applying for. No matter what situation you're in with any type of career gap, you need to make sure that you are networking. Connect with people that are in the industry and in the opportunities that you want to be in, and make sure to build out those connections and those opportunities. People are much more likely to hire somebody that they know from a referral or somebody that they've connected with rather than just looking at a blind resume and hiring that way. So remember, connections are huge and can really help you if you have any type of career gap, whether you're looking to jump back into an industry or field after being gone for a long time, or if you've just taken some time off to travel and you're ready to get back into work. Use your connections and really focus on what you've been doing in your time off. So there you have it, specific strategies that you can follow no matter what type of career gap you have on your resume. If you want additional help with your resume or with interviews in general, check out my free interview and resume checklists that are linked in the description below. They will help you know what things you need on your resume and in your interviews. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you felt like this was helpful for you and you want more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.